Hello, fellows folks. Am I live? Hard to say, because none of my devices are loading today. Wow, I'm a poet and I didn't even know that I was one. I almost did make it to the stream for two reasons. One, I am undergoing a lot of winter weather here. I have about 6 inches of snow outside. It's very pretty, but damaging to the internet and the power. I'm tired. That's the other reason I almost didn't make it today, because I was just so tired. I was laying in bed about 3 minutes before this. I had gotten everything set up last night for the stream, and now we're here doing it. I'm so tired. I might just fall asleep during the middle of it, so, you know, if somebody else takes control of the stream all of a sudden, just very suddenly, you know, don't be surprised. This is episode 29. I'm probably going to edit this right afterwards. However, it's possible I won't, due to I am currently in the process of recording episode 30. Oh yeah, 500 subscribers. How did that happen? Thank you guys. I have to say thank you a million times, because what the heck happened with that last episode that I did? Not the last episode, but the Vetusian episode. Holy cow. I owe you guys a lot, like 500 subscribers worth. I don't know if I can make that happen because I'm one person, but you know, the thought is there, and that's what counts. What are we doing today? We are going to be working on that waterfall over there, as I've mentioned a couple times. However, first I am getting food, because that seems to be a problem with me. I keep forgetting that I need sustenance to live. Alright, we have a generator up in the crevice, obviously, to get more bone meal. But just for kicks and giggles, we're gonna do it here as well. And then we'll save these 2 wheat for a rainy day. Or snowy day, I guess, since we don't really get rain around these parts. Around these parts, you know, we don't get a whole lot of that rain. Look at that. That's ugly looking. See that down there? That's supposed to be a pond. Instead, it's just like a big old empty crater. Yes. Alright, waterfall. What does that look like from above? Probably bad, if I had to guess. And I was right. Look at how there's that thing right there, and that thing right there, and there's just like it doesn't look right. We need to carve out an area where this waterfall is gonna be. But first we gotta sleep, because it's sleep time. Time to sleep. Yeah, the video that I am in with Gabby Pravy over there, it's a horror mod video with the Dwellers. We recorded that a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, I don't remember. Should be coming out soon. That was a really fun video to record, so I hope you guys watch that. That'll be on his channel. Okay, so the waterfall comes down right here. We just need to carve out an area so that it flows down semi-naturally. I don't know how entertaining this is going to be as a stream, but we're doing it anyways. So it's going to hit this block, it's going to roll down here. We need to kind of cover this area up, I think. Okay, so now we have 2 little areas where it's going to fall down, and then we want the waterfall to curve into this little area right here. You can kind of see where the waterfall goes originally just by what snow is gone. Yeah, this'll do. Come down here another 2 blocks, and then come down again another 2 blocks, and then we'll let it go the rest of the way. Oh! Oops. That's why we made food. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the way, get this thing out of the way, get this thing out of the way. I don't know why we had a line just kind of going across. Now, the main problem this episode of this stream is to get a pond right here. I think that's what's gonna drive me the craziest. And then taking that away makes this kind of jut out more than it should, so I'm actually going to indent it so that that natural pattern is still there. Yeah, probably good. Let's turn on the waterfall and see if it does anything that we want it to. I think so. I think this actually looks really good. Except for this right here. So we have to kind of block this area off. We'll just kind of doop, 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 doop. Is that good enough for me? Oh yeah, it is. So we need to find out what part is going to be the pond and what part isn't. I'm going to say this area down here with all the snow, what level am I on? Y level 64. That's going to be the pond part, and then the rest of this is going to be kind of the area leading down to the pond. So let's get clearing all this snow. Alright, we're gonna have to turn the waterfall off again, I fear. I guess since this is coming, this episode is technically in between episode 28 and 30. And 30, as I've said before, oh, that's what I did. I thought I could make that for some reason. Okay, waterfall's gone. Anyways, what was I saying? This episode comes out in between 28 and 30, since, you know, obviously it's episode 29. The lore is picking up, especially next episode. I've been working on it a whole lot. I think people who are watching for that are going to be very pleased with that episode. Even if you're not watching for it, actually. I think it's one of my favorite things that I've ever written or recorded. It's the first time I've ever written like a full script for an episode. Usually it's genuinely just me playing Minecraft and then deciding, oh, we're gonna add a little bit of the story here now. So that's what makes this next episode very different for anybody who's watching the stream, and anybody who's watching the video counterpart. Go get into that Discord because we are doing that flag contest like I mentioned in the last episode, and I need you all to be there. Alright, so when the waterfall comes down, it'll just be in this area. I'm gonna dig another layer down, I think. This is all terraforming right now, which isn't something I'm particularly good at, but you know, we stay winning for the most part. And then I want to get this side kind of mellowed down just a little bit, and then since this hill should still go up, I'm going to kind of leave it a little bit no, that's fine. How natural does that look? That looks better. I'm gonna leave some of this stone here as like the bottom of the waterfall. Yeah, so this part will remain stone. This part I'm changing mostly into dirt. I need to decide which part is going to be not dirt though, or not dirt, but indented into the ground a little bit. How's that? That's good. And then let's do one more piece right here. Perfect. What just happened to my voice? That was weird. Now let's replace this all with dirt, and then I think once we have the water in, I'm going to bone meal up the dirt. That way we got like some seaweed down there. Maybe we'll go find some tropical fish, put them in the pond as well. I don't know if they'll be able to survive out here in Snowy Valley where it's cold and well, snowy. Not very tropical here. I think the next big project that I'm going to do in this world, I'm going to try to use more terracotta and mud, because that's something that I genuinely just haven't touched on since they came out. And even when they did come out, I never touched terracotta or mud. I don't know if other people use it. I know I've seen the mud bricks every now and again, but I don't know. I might have mentioned it too before. I'm gonna do like a bridge spanning across the valley. That way we have a way to get over onto that mountain, and an easier way that's not like just scaling the side of the mountain to get to the mayor's house. I feel like that takes up a lot of time and energy anytime I need to go up there. Which is never. Who wants to be around the mayor anyways? What's up with that guy? Freaking mayor, am I right? LOL. We got ourselves a little pond here, but it's not finished because all ponds need water. What does this pond not have? At the moment, water. I don't know where I keep my buckets at. For the mud bricks, I do have an idea for the generator, because I've seen a bunch of people talk about how you can make mud by putting water bottles on dirt, and then you can make terracotta by letting it dry out, or something with clay. I'm going to do a lot more research on it, but I might do something with that, just as a way also to get clay for bricks, because I might need that soon. I don't know where I'm keeping these buckets at. I feel like I have like a million bajillion of them, but maybe they're over at the watch eye building. We'll go and check that in the morning. Actually, it might be weirdly smart of me to just make a bunch of a new batch of 1,000 buckets, just as like a preparation for episode 31, because I know I'm gonna need a lot of buckets for that episode. No spoilers though. Ice is not something I want to mess with today. Not at all. Water bucket. Water bucket. Yeah. I was thinking about making an infinite water source, but the river's close enough. Alright, is it fixing itself? It did. Look at that. Perfect and wonderful. But let's go grab some more bone meal, and then we'll put some fun stuff down at the bottom. Seaweed and junk. Oh, and let's also turn on the waterfall, because I think it might be fun to look at what progress we've made. Look at that. Look at that. I assume we can't do surface level, can we? No, we cannot. But still, look at that. That looks pretty. That looks pretty. Alright, now, kinda want the waterfall to go that way a little bit. I think I know how. The way water flow works in this game is it will always go towards the fastest way to go down. But if I took away that, it should want to go down now. Look at that ice forming again. Boo. Look at that. We got the waterfall kinda going over the edge a little bit. And you know what? That's actually just enough for me. This is probably gonna freeze again. Do we have glowstone? Do we have any sort of light? Because if so, we can put it right underwater and it'll keep the ice from spawning in the first place. Or we could put a lantern down there. That would take less time. Still have not told George that I've finished his newfound home. However, I am going to do that next episode in the beginning. So, I mean, if for some reason you're excited about that, that's when it's gonna happen. Yippee yippee. Is that lantern enough to keep the ice melted? I should have just let it sit there and wait for the ice to melt on its own to see if it worked, but yeah, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to that. The main thing really is we need to make this thing look really nice and pretty. That's what I want. This place is just gonna be a really, all it is a good place to look at. So I'm gonna have trees all along here. I'm gonna have a path leading over here, I guess, and it'll be a lot of fireflies. Only taking the moss away so that we can build with more moss here later. Now up here will just be a little fishing spot, I guess. It looks like that lantern's doing its work well also, because there's no ice. Now it is time to, we need to get more moss, I think. Ooh, no, we need to get trees. We need to get trees. Let's go get tree saplings.
I watched the sunrise last night, not having slept. It gave me time to think about how easy it should be to sleep though. I just have to close my eyes, but that's when I can hear those silent voices best. I'm sure they're in my head, but they feel so real. There's something about this place too, that Graphite mentioned, that it's haunted. Other people have experienced things like this. Maybe it's some sort of psychosomatic anomaly I can't explain, but I'm letting it distract me too much. As I've mentioned, I recently spoke with Graphite, and I mentioned my living situation. With almost no hesitation, he offered to let me stay at his place, the crevice, as he calls it. This is wonderful. Soon, my nightmare of a living situation, and quite literally, I might add, will finally be over. This dark loneliness is what has been making this stay difficult. Maybe a new friend will help purge this darkness. This is getting too personal. The artifact has no new anomalies. The radio has not made a sound. Not even that imposter has reached out recently. It feels peaceful now. I prefer this. But I guess we'll see if anything changes when the sun sets tonight.
Trees, we're gonna go get the trees. I always forget which elevator it is. I think it's this, yeah. Over here. You'd think it would be in this chest, but no. That's not where I keep saplings, apparently. Do I have to really go back all the way up to my tree farm and get more saplings the hard way? That's such an insane thing to ask of me. I can't wait to have an elytra. All I'm gonna do is just float down this crevice. Alright. One thing I also need is the firefly bushes, of course. According to legend, if I just put dirt right here and do that, boom, back and forth, we got pretty much infinite firefly bushes. Easy peasy. So bricks, cover this back up so that we don't have to look at the bushes anymore. Now we have 34 bushes. What are we gonna do with that many? It's obvious. Figure it out, guys. We're gonna put them down here. Come on. I'm gonna cut this part out of the video, out of the actual edit. That didn't happen. What did happen was this. Okay. What did happen was this. Yahoo! Awesome. See guys, that's how you play Minecraft. Alright, now we just gotta go through here, filling these up with dirt, and putting the firefly bushes in. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all the fireflies here. They're all floating about. This looks wonderful. Now, what do we need? We need trees. One thing we can talk about. I'm probably gonna try to start streaming every Monday now. So next Monday, maybe I'll do some Soul Seal, because I haven't done another episode of that in a hot minute. I've only done the one episode. So I don't know if episode is the right title for that. Just another video. I won't be editing those streams like the regular streams just for the sake of I don't wanna. It's a lot of work. Just editing this one is gonna be a lot of work. And then there's also a server that I play on with a friend of mine where it's like a magic area, and I might do streams on there. I might do streams of me doing the space mod pack that I found. It's an add-on. We'll see what we get up to, but I wanna do more streams. I feel like that'd be fun, you know? Now time to grow those trees, provided they haven't already grown on their own, which I kinda hope they did, but then that would make that waiting for the bone meal kind of irrelevant. So at the same time, I hope they haven't. That way I feel some sort of purpose in my life, and they haven't grown. Great, and now we're out of saplings. Wonderful and cool. Grow this guy up. Come on, tree. Yes, sirree. If only we could do another tree right here. But we need more leaves to do that. And I am not in a leave sort of mood right now. What mood I am in is a let's fix this wall sort of mood. Now let's do this top layer first. I'm just going to carve out this, and then over here as well, right under This is, I want to say tedious, but I don't know if that's the right word. Boring. Not a whole lot of content here to enjoy. Now we need some tough. So let's go down to the mines. Grab some tough. We're also gonna have to grab some moss on the way back. Let's put in this tough, then it is time. So I was gonna go like right up there, right before the stone. Might be best to just work from up there instead of trying to climb up the mountain. There's no reason to make this harder for myself, because if it's in the wrong spot, then it messes up the waterfall's direction. Does that fix it? I think it does. Now I just want to get a little bit of regular stone to fix up that part way up there, and then we should be ready to turn on the waterfall. I will say, I've mentioned this I think in the last episode, but just in case you need to hear it again, none of this is going to be shown in episode 30, just because I've already started recording episode 30, and this was obviously not done. So unfortunately, none of this work will show for until episode 31, and that will also be a fairly big episode, but not for the lore, just for, you know, regular Minecraft stuff that we're gonna do in there. It will be fun though. I'll have to do another stream where I do a lot of this moss stuff and more to the front yard, especially whenever we get into the village. Whenever I'm actually gonna have to be doing a whole lot of outside exterior design work. But for now, this looks really nice. This area was feeling a little blank, so maybe I add like a little thing at the end here. Where did I get all this new moss carpet from? Interesting. I like this. I really like this. I want to see what it looks like whenever it's nighttime. But that might be a little bit. Yeah, this looks pretty. I like this. And then up there has that. Let's look at from afar. Yeah, that looks much better compared to what it looked like originally, which was kind of just a messy stream of water coming down. And then even when you come up to it, it's like, holy cow. This is nice. We have to keep these torches here, otherwise it won't work. It'll freeze over, and I don't want a frozen lake. I just don't. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I do like that. That's perfect. Do I want to put these down? I don't. I'm tired, guys. I need to sleep. I'm about to pass out. It's been real. Alright, guys. I'll see you in the next episode 30, whenever that comes out. I'll post a trailer for it and everything. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.